Here is a number that quietly changes how you look at everything you own. Cost per use. Take the price of a thing, divide it by how many times you actually use it. A $10 thing you use twice costs you $5 each time. A $300 thing you use for 20 years costs you almost nothing. The cheap one was the expensive one. Most of us buy the cheap one again and again. The kettle, the boots, the umbrella. We never add up what all that replacing quietly cost us over the years. You know the type who does it the other way. The quiet neighbor in the 25-year-old Prado wearing Kmart shorts, who somehow owns his house outright. He buys once and keeps it. Now buy it for life. Gets a bad name sometimes. People use it as an excuse to spend big on things they do not need, then call it an investment. Worth being honest about that. So this is not about buying more. It is about buying once, for the things you will genuinely use for decades. 9 of them today, and the last one breaks the rule on purpose. And the pressure to keep buying is relentless. Everything around you is an ad, nudging you to replace what still works. Buying once, and well, is quietly a way of stepping off that treadmill. The first one is a pair of R.M. Williams boots, made in Adelaide since 1932 from a single piece of leather, with a welt that means they can be resold. A new pair is around $650. That sounds like a lot until you wear them most weeks for 20 years and resole them twice along the way. Do that and it works out to a few cents a wear. Meanwhile, the bloke rebuying $40 boots every couple of years spends far more and never even notices it happening. That is the quiet confidence of it. Not flashy, not new every season, just one good pair, worn in, that says more about you than a wardrobe full of throwaway ones ever could. The second one is a Weber kettle barbecue, the most popular barbecue in the country, and the reason is simple. People are still happily using theirs after 30 years. It carries a 10-year warranty, but that undersells it. Porcelain enameled steel does not really wear out. One good one outlasts every cheap flat-pack barbecue rusting away on the nature strip. Think about what one Weber actually does. 30 summers of Sunday roasts, snags for the kids, low and slow briskets. Spread the price across all of that and it is nearly free cooking. The third one is a Leatherman multi-tool. Pliers, blades and screwdrivers, all folded into something small enough to live in your pocket or the glove box for the next 25 years. It comes with a 25-year warranty, no questions asked. It is the sort of thing you use 100 times a year and eventually hand down to one of the kids. The fourth one is a cast iron pan. Your grandmother probably had one. Looked after properly, it does not wear out at all. It gets better, and it genuinely lasts for generations. You can pick a good one up for well under $100. Compare that to the non-stick pan you replace every couple of years once the coating starts flaking into your eggs. The same pan does bacon over a campfire and a steak on the stove at home. Season it once, keep it out of the dishwasher, and it will outlive the kitchen it sits in. The fifth one is a decent socket set. Sidchrome has been an Australian name since 1942, and their hand tools carry a lifetime warranty against faults in workmanship. Buy one good set in your 30s, and it is still in the shed in your 70s. The tools quietly outlast the ute they were bought to keep on the road. Cheap tools round off, crack or bend the moment you finally need them under load. Good ones just work, decade after decade. That is the whole point of a warranty that never runs out. The sixth one is a proper chef knife, not a block of 12 you never touch. One good knife, kept sharp, that you reach for every single day of your life. A quality one starts around $50 and lasts for decades. Used every day for 20 years, the cost per use rounds down to nothing. Few things you own earn their keep like it. The seventh one is a Seiko automatic watch. No battery to ever run flat. It winds itself from the movement of your wrist the same clever way it has for over 50 years. From a couple of $100, it can be serviced and kept running for a lifetime. It is the classic thing a parent quietly passes on to a son or a daughter. The eighth one is an espresso machine, and here the maths does the talking. A flat white at the cafe is around $6 now in the big cities. One a day, 5 days a week is close to $2,000 a year. Coffee industry figures for 2026 put the average city cup right around that $6 mark. A good home machine costs a few $100s once. Make your own and the thing pays for itself inside a year. That is the maths, not a promise. But the numbers are hard to ignore. Run it out 5 years and that is close to $10,000 of cafe coffee against a few hundred spent once. Not a reason to never enjoy a cafe, just a number worth seeing clearly. And the ninth one breaks every rule I just gave you. The ninth one is a mattress, and it is the one thing on this list you should never keep for life. Mattress makers and sleep researchers land on the same number. A mattress is done at 7 to 10 years. After that, it sags, your back pays for it, and it stops doing its job. So why is it even on the list? Because it is the perfect example of spending where it actually matters. You spend a third of your entire life lying on the thing. A good one runs $500 to $2,000 and lasts the better part of a decade. That works out to roughly 50 cents a night for a third of your life. That is the real lesson hiding inside Buy It for Life. It was never about keeping old stuff forever. It is about knowing exactly where your money is worth spending and where it is not. So here is the one thing worth doing this week. Pick the thing you keep rebuying. The cheap boots, the servo umbrella, the barbecue that lasted 2 summers before it rusted. Work out what you have really spent on it over the last 10 years. Not the price on the tag, the total, every replacement added up. That number usually surprises people. Then decide if buying one good version once would have cost you less. Often it would have. That single habit repeated across a lifetime is quietly what wealthy people do differently. Quick one before we finish. Everything here is general information only and not financial advice. What is worth it for you depends on your own situation. So treat all of this as food for thought. If this gave you a useful way to look at your money, do me a favor. Give it a like. It helps this kind of thing reach more Australians. Subscribe and turn on notifications so the next one finds you. See you in the next one.